Remember that one time you were at a bar, it's late at night, and your friend is telling you all about crypto, and you loved it. You loved all of it. You wanted to become a cypherpunk. You wanted to stick it to the man. So, later that night, in a drunken stupor, you created an account on a SEX. Get your head out of the gutter. A centralized exchange. And you logged in and you bought your first little bit of crypto. And since then, that crypto has just sat there. It's just sat there on the centralized exchange, and it hasn't done anything. You should have just left your money in a regular fiat boring savings account. Maybe you tried to leave the centralized exchange once. Your friend told you about a decentralized exchange, a DEX, built on Ethereum. But after you got everything all set up and tried to make your first swap, you realized the gas fees were too high. Your broke ass couldn't afford it. Man. F***ing way. Introducing Osmosis. Osmosis is a decentralized exchange, a DEX, built upon its own Cosmos-based blockchain. This means that transactions are fast and gas fees are cheap. Like really cheap. In case you're new to the whole DEX thing, a decentralized exchange is a place where you can safely swap crypto tokens without a weird company acting as a middleman. There is no brick and mortar building. There is no company with a CEO. A DEX is just code. And since a DEX is just code, it doesn't give a fuck about who you are. A DEX will never ask you for your name, phone number, email address, social security number, mother's maiden name, age, date of birth, and you'll never have to send a DEX an awkward photo of you holding up your driver's license with a little piece of paper that says today's date on it. But there are a lot of DEXs out there. Why should we use Osmosis? Osmosis provides a simple way to trade crypto. Cheap gas fees, fast transactions, a clean, sexy interface, and an ever-growing list of tradable assets. Osmosis aims to be the best multi-chain DEX in town. And when we say multi-chain, we mean multi-chain. Osmosis is hosted on Akash, a decentralized cloud compute marketplace. Osmosis is hosted on the unstoppable cloud. In that regard, Osmosis is even more decentralized than other decentralized exchanges. Wow, what a beaut. Obviously, you can trade crypto on Osmosis. It's an exchange after all. But if you're feeling saucy, you can become a liquidity provider. You can LP. Since a DEX is nothing but code, we need other users to bring fat stacks of crypto cash so people have something to trade with. Have you ever been to a potluck? Everybody has to bring a big old dish of food so we can all have a meal. And the liquidity providers, well, they bring the food to this Osmosis potluck. But unlike your grandmother, who cooks for free, liquidity providers get paid to bring food to this fiesta. So what are you waiting for? Get that dormant crypto off that decentralized exchange and bring it on over to Osmosis. You'll be stacking Osmo in no time. I think these dogs are burnt.
Yo, welcome, osmonauts, cosmonauts, everybody in between. I'm Kevin Dizzle, and I'm one of the members of the Osmosis Community Support DAO. Our other DAO members are here backstage, and we will have Sonny with us shortly. I don't see him here yet. Thank you for coming to our first community town hall of 2022. It's our first Osmosis town hall that we're doing after the DAO has been formed, and wow, it's exciting. I'm excited. I have a bunch of notes here. I know that people have been sending in questions, which we will be getting to towards the second half of this. And the main format and the main process that we're going to go through during this town hall is that we're first going to talk about, looking back at our first 2 months. It feels like it's been years, but the first 2 months, what worked. We're going to bring in a guest admin speaker who is one of the admins that we've brought on as staff over our run, and we're going to talk about what didn't work. I know people have some thoughts about that, and then we're going to discuss what maybe we should change or experiment with, and after that, we'll feed your questions, your text questions, into a Q&A session, and people who want to get on the mic, reach out to Mad Cat Attack on Discord or our admins that are staffing Reddit and other platforms, and they will send you a link so you can join this. You'll join it through StreamYard. So sounds a little technical, and I know it's not exciting, but if you are going to come here on for a question, Sonny's here. I'm going to bring Sonny here in just a second. But if you are coming on to speak on the mic, just please don't troll us and be a jerk. And then also, what was I going to say? Yeah, we'll ask you to probably stop watching it on whatever platform you're watching it on. I know it's going to seem weird, but disconnect from Discord or stop the YouTube. Then you're going to come on to StreamYard, and you'll be able to see it here as well. And we'll move you from backstage onto the mic, and you can ask your question. And we really look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. So without further ado, I'd like to bring Sonny up. Awesome. Sonny's here. What's up, man? Welcome. Oh, don't make me this big.
Oh. Hello. How's it going, guys?
Hey, so this is exciting. This is our first official town hall after the DAO. We're calling it a DAO. The community support DAO has been formed. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention was that we got some names because we're going to rename the DAO. We're going to take the word DAO out of our name. That's our plan. So we got a bunch of names from Reddit, and I'm going to read 4 of them now. But I would, maybe we can talk a little bit about what the DAO actually is, Sonny. Like a working group, or kind of how you feel like it's been working. But here, just before we do that, 4 names from Reddit. We'll read these throughout. These are great creative names, and I just want to thank everybody on Reddit for just brainstorming with us. Number 1, Molecular Support Team. Second name, Osmolecule. Third name, Lab Rats. Whoever came up with that, I think it was Sofa King Clueless, brilliant. And the last name for now is Osmosis Lab Support. So thank you for those awesome suggestions. We have more that will be coming. But Sonny, can you talk a little bit about how you see people are complimenting your bedhead. Can you talk a little bit about how you see the DAO working, as opposed to maybe how people traditionally think of the word DAO?
Yeah. So, I feel like the term DAO is, is maybe a little bit of not the best word to use when we started it, because I think DAOs usually imply some sort of like larger governance base, like usually based off like some sort of token holder voting or something like that. And so if you look at or really how I see it is that the Osmosis governance system is the DAO, is a DAO. I think all proof of stake chains usually tend to be DAOs. And I think that these like both like what we call or initially called the community support DAO and the marketing DAO really are not DAOs themselves, but they're really like executive extensions of the Osmosis DAO. They're like, so it's similar like if you look in like most Ethereum DAOs, for example, like they'll often have like multi-sigs that have certain capabilities over the protocol, and those are like elected by the protocol to do certain like tasks. And so I think that's really more what this is like, which is like these are both. So I actually don't think I think that the entity here is the Osmosis DAO, and then these are just sort of working groups and like elected subgroups of that larger community DAO that like, is acting on certain executing on certain things on behalf of the community pool on behalf of the Osmosis DAO.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's an important distinction, and something that when we got into this, we weren't, speaking for myself, wasn't that concerned about exactly what the name was. I had the idea of like, there's a problem we have to solve, which is like, we need to increase our support staff and, work on shoring up and improving support services for Osmosis. And that was that's been what we've all been focused on. And so I appreciate that. I think that perspective helps. And I'm certain we're going to have some questions about about stuff related to that, about what are our actual responsibilities, and what we will get into that. So now I want to just walk through this kind of list of this is from our milestones on Gitbook, I believe, and we'll have links to this stuff. I mean, you can see links to all these things in our recent Medium posts, which will our admins can share on Discord and on various platforms, so you guys can check the sources. But Sunny generously helped us sort of categorize these into some bigger categories, and I'm going to bring on other DAO members to help discuss or just lay these out. I just want to frame it that it's been a group effort. The idea of being a working group, like we've all been chipping in to the best of our abilities. Luckily, I think one of the things that has made this the support DAO, given it a bit of a uniqueness, or it's just a fact of our founding, is, I don't know if people remember, but when we did campaigned with the first proposal 39, we had a different group of 5 people, and it was tough. Like we it didn't quite get through, and we went back to the drawing board to get input on the proposal, and 3 of the members of that group dropped out. Were exhausted. This can be like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of internal debating to get to consensus amongst a group of people. Whatever. It's like a family, or it's like, it's not. We're not at smart contract level yet for this stuff. So we had to rebuild and find 3 new members. And I think the fact that we had a role in choosing them, I know some people have had some critique that like we were appointed by the foundation, but we actually lost 3 members and then had to reselect those 3. And in that sense, like there was some autonomy in that. And I think it has helped us. We tried to pick people we thought brought different strengths than what the 2 remaining, me and Mike, I think, were the ones who were sort of left standing. And I just think that had something to do with it. Having, as anyone knows from any job, like the people that you work with on a day-to-day basis can make or break a job, regardless of whether you like the job. So being able to pick people that you get along with is such a huge piece of, I think, what's allowed us to keep doing this. So anyway, with that of a disclaimer, I want to see if we have DK is here. I'm going to add you to the stream, DK, and you had something prepared here to talk about first. What worked in terms of the admin resourcing, which is the first one was tasking senior admins with onboarding new junior admins and establishing their schedules and responsibilities. I think we have 12 new admins since we started, but someone's going to correct me.
Kevin.
14. So please take it away, DK.
Okay, thank you, Kevin, for the really warm introduction. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So one of the biggest things that we wanted to get done for Osmosis was to have the best customer support in all of DeFi, and we really meant it, and we really tried to make it so. So let me just share with you some of the things we've done. So yeah, we have a total of 14 admins on board now. The DAO members jointly work with the seniors to establish their duties and the standard operating procedures that go over the hiring, pay, training, and dismissal. We want to make sure that it's a healthy, structured work environment so that the admins know clearly what they're responsible for, and you don't always see that in crypto. So we want to, innovate in that way as well. And the goal here is to make sure that all of our admins become a strong knowledge base for the community, so that it doesn't matter what platform, whether it be the Telegram, the Discord, the Reddit, the Commonwealth, or the time of the day that you come on. If you come to the admins with a question, they should be capable of answering you. And most of our admins, they started out as regular community members, and they've put in time and effort to answer users' questions, do their own research on, especially the Cosmos ecosystem, and they showed a genuine passion to see that Osmosis succeeds. When an admin, especially when an admin vouches for a community member, we take those recommendations very seriously, because the admins are out there every day, and they are in the best position to know who in the community can step up and fulfill this role. And I've been joking around with some of the folks on the chat. If I see them being very helpful and they show the right stuff, I tell them, if you keep that up, we're gonna have to threaten you with a job offer, right? And and that's some of that has really worked out. So that's how a lot of our admins got started, and we'll also be rolling out an application process and posting admin jobs throughout the channels, because we're looking to grow. One of our main concerns is making sure that our admin team does not burn out. These are really valued members of the community, and they're not easy to replace.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, absolutely. And all of us at the DAO, we're very proud of the admin team. We see them as a dream team, really, and they're more than just customer support. They're often the first point of contact for a lot of new users. If you take a look across our channels and see all of the people that our admins help on board, with new liquidity, to Osmosis, the work they do to help the DEX grow, they're one of the best informed members of Osmosis, and they have a breadth of knowledge of the Cosmos ecosystem in general as well. And they have a remarkable understanding of the bigger picture, what they're building here, and what it means to have the opportunity to be an admin for our community. So I speak for all of us at the DAO in saying this. Making sure our admins are happy and well-resourced to do an incredible job for the community, it's the favorite part of our jobs. It really is. So come meet them in the Telegram, the Discord, the Reddit. And if you especially come on the Telegram, check out our new tip bot. We rolled that out on New Year's Eve, and I think it's a massive hit. And if you're feeling generous, toss a coin to your admin, or make it rain Osmo to the whole community. It's possible to do it now. And it's been a pleasure to support the Osmosis community, and we thank you for this opportunity to serve you. And we will continue to do our best to fulfill the mandate you've given us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DK. That was great, man. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the tip bot myself. I think you have to deposit to a wallet your funds, and then you have the capability to trigger it. But we'll work on that. But that is that kind of thing was only possible, because we had a budget, and two, a little bit of flexibility. If we were literally just bringing on staff and nothing else, then it would be hard to make any of these ideas happen. And so I do think that going forward, we like the idea to be able to, having had the idea to go after and incentivize cool things that people come up with. Mm-hmm. So thanks, man. That was great.
You're very welcome. Thank you all.
Okay, so I'm going to take DK off for there. The next thing, and so the number, I guess, is 14 admins have been added since we started. I don't know what percentage increase that is, but it's something like, I don't know, 5x more support staff than we had before the DAO started. And now, I just want to shout out the admins today. If anyone who's listening to the updates from the lab spaces, I got a handful of questions from, I think, Maquina and Crypto Assassin, who are two admins. Having admins able to tell us what the community is thinking, because they're literally talking to everyone on a daily basis, is like extremely valuable. And so we also value them for that as well, for catching input and taking the temperature. So I do just want to also say, like, thank you to all the admins who are doing that and who are listening and have been working with us. And thanks, Sonny, for creating an environment that valued admins in the very beginning. It's very we've tried to follow your lead.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really helpful. I know, like, a lot of the admins, especially the early ones, like Joda and GP, were like very, they did an amazing job. And, like, I think Joda, for the first couple of months, Joda and GP were like single-handedly managing this chat 24/7, which was,
I don't know how they did it, man.
Yeah, but yeah, then just I know they've gotten a lot of work taken off their shoulders, which has been really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that it's hard to measure that, but it's like the amount of input and wisdom and advice that even though Joda, he's now they're now taking some time off, but like continues to give input, when we're asking about the bigger features that we'll be discussing, and also GP, like, to have that experience too, to be able to say to new admins, I've been through this before, here's what I know. It's really valuable to retain that, like, wisdom. So yeah, they've been through the ringer. So next I want to bring up Claire. He's another member of the DAO. Claire, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. The next category we have is about support tooling, but I know that you may have some stuff prepared that you want to talk about. Whatever, please talk to us about what you've been working on. And
yeah, I don't have anything super prepared.
Okay.
DK mentioned, DK mentioned the tip bot already. That was one of our recent initiatives. Something we also did right after we were first formed was the compensate for the Ion bot, which is the one that provides all the super handy information on the main chat. So yeah, both of those toolings have been really helpful and well received. So we're excited about those. And Alice has been instrumental in setting up the support ticketing system on Discord. So if you guys are ever in there, you can see the extensive support ticketing system there. It's been really good. And our big thing has been the coming rollout of our live chat and knowledge base support platform. So we're really excited about that. This is going to be a huge game changer. Basically, it's going after however long it takes to do the transition, where people are going to be able to still access the chats, all our platforms, Reddit, Discord, Telegram. Everybody will still be able to, everyone will be there. It's not going anywhere, but we're going to start directing support issues over to our new website, which will have a live chat widget and a very extensive knowledge base and FAQ area. So it's in testing right now. We're working with the admins to set it up, test it out, and hoping to launch, soft launch. It won't be the full thing, but it'll at least be the live chat mid to end of the month. So yeah, really, really excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Claire.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to also just say about Claire that you, like, each of us, we haven't done a proper introduction of every member of the DAO, but Claire, you've done just an enormous amount of lifting in terms of coordinating our work with these vendors, with the customer platform. Like, there's a ton of stuff that we've had to do that's like not fun, but like long Zoom calls where they walk us through their, process, their software, the implementation. It's hours of work. It's a lot of emails back and forth. And like, you also helped coordinate our attendance at DecentralCon in November, which we learned some stuff from that conference that I think we can do this again with events that maybe are a little bit better suited to us, but like, we had to start somewhere, and it was really important that we all got in the same room together. Really, like, as much as working from home is awesome, being on the same page with the people in marketing and with Sunny, just being able to talk and just get it all out and brainstorm is like, it's really important. I can't see this fully working without adding some component of that. We don't have to have an office in Palo Alto or wherever the heck, but like, we got to meet up at Cosmoverse and hopefully a few other events to make sure that we're like, not whatever, that one person isn't a robot or something.
I agree. And it's a great opportunity for the community to come out as well. I was
absolutely
so stoked to meet so many Osmosis users that, I had no idea, honestly, that there were that many that are, just out there attending a DeFi event. And it was so great.
Demand for Osmosis t-shirts is about as high as demand for Osmo at this point. It's probably a lot higher, actually.
Right.
Like, people love the decks like that. Thanks to everyone, the developers, for making a product that's just so awesome to use. But like, it made it quite easy for us to be there. So Claire, just thank you for all the work that you're doing, and you jump in and you do stuff that no one's asking you to do. And this just wouldn't happen without it. So thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Stoked to be here.
Okay. So now we have Docs and Tutorials. Mike is here. And so that Claire addressed the tooling. Docs and Tutorials. I put a link to the roadmap, by the way, in our chat, so you folks can look at it. We'll probably organize it better. Sunny did a good job of kind of categorizing it, but for now, it's got all the stuff there. Sunny, do you have anything you want to add? I know we've just kind of been blabbering. If not, it's totally fine. You're good. Okay, cool. Mike, I'm bringing Mike on stage. He's another DAO member, been instrumental in helping with our accounting, our transparency report, which hopefully we'll get somebody to share that in the comments on Medium. Mike, welcome, man. Okay, I'm not hearing you yet. Mike? Microphones. I'm not hearing the microphone yet. Oh, whatever you did, it came on. Try that again. If you're connected to Discord or anything, shut it down.
Can you hear me, Kev?
Yes, welcome, dude.
All right, sweet. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
All right. Yeah. So I was gonna...
Wait. Hey, Mike. What was it that solved your problem? Just in case our other guests have that same thing.
I unplugged my headphones. Everything was working smoothly with my headphones on, but for whatever reason, you guys couldn't hear me. I don't know if it was a setting on my headphone or.
Note to potential community members who are going to get on stage: maybe you have to unplug and replug your headphones. All right. So, Mike, let's talk to us about what's been working on your end.
Sure. I'm going to go over some of the docs and toolings that we started to set up in these first few months. We worked with the admins to spearhead the creation of the facts document that's going to be featured on our customer support page that's in development. Having a versatile facts document can go a long way to help onboard new users. We can use this facts to incorporate, like I said, into the support site, but also as a template that we could use to translate into many languages. Also, this helps us prioritize, what are the best how-to videos to produce first. We actually went through the process of polling all the admins to help us prioritize which how-to videos. I think after this launch with customer, that's going to be really a big push for the DAO is, short-term goal of having really solid how-to videos for the users. We also paid Stevie Woof Woof for the regular dictation of the lab, updates from the lab. That was actually one of the first things we did as a DAO was funding the work that he's been doing for Twitter updates. Anybody who's been like reading those articles has been noticing how much better all of the dictations have been getting week to week. Like, it's a really solid document, and I haven't seen anything, similar anywhere in crypto. It's very exciting to see the different creative ways the community members have found to add value to Osmosis. And I just wanted to take a little aside and talk about the transparency and invoicing system we set up. I think one of the most underappreciated aspects of running a team is the accounting and payroll that comes with it. And this is something we as a DAO wanted to get in front of upon launch. There should never be a question on what was paid or to what account or for how much. So before we made our first payment, we built a system of accounting to keep track of all charges and any associated backup for each. If anyone hasn't viewed the first transparency report or our public shared folder, the DAO hosts a shared folder that includes all our transparency reports and all of our paid invoices. Every invoice we create contains a distinct CSD number, like CSD 001, a receiver address, amount, a detailed memo, as well as the transaction hash for that payment after we sign it. Conversely, every on-chain transaction includes all of those things, as well as the CSD number and transcription. So these payments we make should be searchable regardless of where you see the transaction. So if you're curious and see a charge for CSD 001, you could simply go to our shared folder, search that term, and see the invoice that's associated. Or if you see a transaction on chain, you could search by the transaction hash, or all of our invoices include the transaction hashes, so you could just copy that and paste that right into MintScan to see the actual on-chain charge. I don't know if you saw this recently, but Akash Twitter, their system triggered on one of our invoices that it was a potential mnemonics risk. I'm assuming it was the amount of words in the invoice, but it was cool to see that they actually recognized what that charge was and was able to see just off the memo exactly what it was for. The CSD invoicing helps us internally keep track of our payments during our bi-weekly payment schedule. We created an internal folder with each upcoming payment and any supporting documents. So the signers can review invoices prior to signing day, which is what we call our payroll. And on signing day, we can simply say up next is CSD number 1 or CSD number 2. Please double check and sign up on the transaction before we move on to the next. It seems to make the multi-sig process much more streamlined and efficient. This efficiency is important as we have signed over 50 transactions in 2 months. Having good infrastructure and documentation in place will make it much easier to scale down the road. And that's a little bit of that. Kev, did you want to talk more in depth on the CSD articles that we've put through and also the Medium articles?
Yeah, I guess what I would say, because they're all out there and written, I would just say thanks for helping write the first budget and transparency article. I would say that, like, I would like to know from the community if those are how helpful those are. Like, that's us kind of sitting down and trying to be as transparent as we can. I know that, like, when we were first discussing the formation of this working group with Dave, one of the other co-founders, and Sonny and others, one of the concerns was, like, we don't want to give the people in this working group in the support DAO like too much other tasks. Like, if we're reporting a ton of stuff, it kind of takes away from the job of being concerned about the support itself. Like, there's a balance. So, like, if people don't care about the Medium articles, I want to know, and we can make them really short and simple. But if they are helpful, we can keep doing them. It's kind of, you're in the driver's seat to a degree, I would say, from the community. And I guess I would like to hear more, in the comments or in our Discord, people's thoughts on those things. And then, Mike, to your point, I put links to them in the chat, in the comments. People on at least YouTube and Facebook will have seen those. And if our admins who are on the other platforms could share those, that would be helpful. And y'all can just go to me. Yeah, you guys can just go to Medium. You can read the article with links to our Mike's Transparency drive that has our invoices, everything. You can look at I would say the best one to start with is the first 60 days Medium post. It describes a bunch of stuff that we've done.
Yeah, and I do want to address the invoices that are public. We did remove all of our admins' names. So it does include
Yep.
the sending the the to address. The internal documents, we do keep that information, but we do want to keep a level of security over our admins in regards to doxing their addresses.
Yeah, that's a thing that I think. I mean, Dave brought this up, and I guess this will be the one point where I'll mention it because I forgot to put this on our outline. But we are, we're planning to come back to do another proposal because we have taken on a lot more staff than we originally predicted. So we will have to increase the budget to pay for that and other things. But like, in addition to that, one thing that people have been concerned about is like, do we have a charter? Are there any rules? Like, is there anything in place in case the community was like, yo, I don't trust these DAO members, or somebody did something shit, whatever. We should have a charter of some sort, and we are working on it. If somebody out there wants to help us write it or has experience with that, please reach out to us. We need help. We just can't do everything. And I think we have a budget. We can help compensate someone that can do that well. And I do think it would probably be really important to have the community contribute to the charter if possible. So we're talking to multiple people now. Some community members who've been interested in that we've been talking with, but we need help. So that'll be a thing, Mike, where we have to strike a balance between how much privacy we preserve for our employees, and how much transparency we can give to the community so they know, that what's being spent is clear, that it's going towards what we say it is.
Exactly. Like there's a line between paying a junior admin and then paying this specific junior admin to this specific account. So you could see that we paid, how many junior admins or how many senior admins, but to dox each account is, another level of, something we don't know if we want to touch yet.
Currently, our decision has been to preserve that level of their privacy. And if you want to see the admins, you can see them actively working on all the platforms. So anyway, if you really want to be a crazy blockchain detective,
you can figure it out. Yeah.
Decide how to use your time. So thank you so much, Mike, man. It's been really helpful, and working with you and dealing with the accounting stuff. Like, it's a job. Like, this isn't stuff that we would do as our hobby for fun in our spare time.
And it's not like a pretty subject, but when you're doing payroll and you're paying people on a consistent basis, it's good to keep track of everything, just because you don't know, what's going to come down the road. If I would have to, if someone has a question, I'm going to spend 30 minutes going through Block Explorer trying to, match up what that payment was for. It
would be absurd.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the time, guys.
Yeah.
I really
Thanks,
appreciate
Mike.
working with you guys too. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. So now those are the main things that we want to discuss that we felt like were working, the main topics. The detailed stuff is all on the roadmap. I want to bring in, we have a guest speaker here, one of our admins, Worker Bee. I'm going to add to talk. And I actually asked all of the admins. I wanted to get more than one, but people really respect and want to be able to preserve their privacy, anonymity of their identity working in blockchain, and we're trying to honor that. I'm out here myself. I don't expect everyone to be doing that or like doing what Sunny's doing. I don't think that has to be the bar for participation. So Worker Bee, so thank you for stepping up and adding your voice. And to anyone who comes to ask questions today, I want Worker Bee to come and talk a little bit about, from an admin's perspective, what it's been like to have the support DAO working with y'all, and how you see it having changed the zone.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for having me. So I'll just talk a little bit about my perspective. I was kind of not involved with the project at all during the launch. I didn't know any of you guys. And when the conversation of support came up, I was kind of dying to help out in any way I could for Osmosis. And so I saw this as one way that my background allowed me to actually step up and be able to put in some work that could help everybody, especially the devs. It's nice to be able to kind of handle the front of hundreds of customers coming in and being like, how do I set up a wallet? How do I set up a wallet? Sonny doesn't have to pay attention to that. He can just focus on what's more important for him over there, while all the admins take care of stuff like that. Seeing, coming in, I didn't know what to really expect of what was here. And so as soon as I jumped in, the existing DAO members had already set up this like infrastructure for, when you need to talk to developers, you come over here. When you talk to relayers, you come over here. These channels are for us to discuss and not really annoy other people who are really working. This is a full-time gig for almost every area of the chain, and everyone is doing other jobs, and it just kind of all interconnects in this DAO that we call Osmosis.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Worker. I feel like that's a very super helpful perspective. I would be curious, Sonny, to hear from you a little bit about, kind of, because this is something that I hadn't even thought about until more recently, about how much that the devs rely on the admins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely been a huge, a couple of ways. One, definitely, as mentioned, it takes time. So that like helps where we don't have to be dealing with support stuff. We can focus on development stuff, but also it just helps where getting feedback from, the admins on what kind of things are confusing, especially on front end stuff, right? Where we know that this is a user flow that is generally very confusing to people, and so we can know this is something we should add to our prior roadmap for the front end to fix this
right
system.
Yeah. I see daily people come in a little confused about the unbonding process. So we start getting handfuls of users coming in, and we have those channels to reach out to you guys and be like, hey, users really are kind of misunderstanding this. Maybe we should update something on the page and get that more intuitive for them.
Yeah, that feedback loop is I feel like that's really important. And so having the 24/7 staffed admins, I guess it amplifies the feedback and makes sure that it's accurate and you have a lot of data, So if there is, like you said, a big sticking point at the unbonding or whatever, people trying to transfer UST off of Kepler, it's very clear. There's no question about we're getting the clear signal from the admins and detailed information. So I just want to thank you. Worker's also been, I mean, you're one example of an admin who's basically jumped in and said, oh, you need help on Telegram, you need help on Discord, you need help on Reddit, you need help on this new customer platform that's going to be a live chat widget that's where scammers can't impersonate admins. And just thank you for being so gung-ho, I guess. That is definitely, that energy helps an enormous amount. And one of our goals is we're trying to allow for this kind of a paradox to exist where well, it's not a paradox, where you can be gung-ho and help in a lot of ways, but you don't get burnt out that you quit.
Right.
And so that's one of the things as a DAO that we do want to be continually working with the admins on striking a work-life balance as much as possible. So thank you. And I'll see you in the matrix.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. So now I just want to read a couple of more clever name suggestions from Reddit, and then we're going to talk briefly about what didn't work over these past couple of months. Here's some names from Reddit. Support. Very simple. The membranes. Nice. The diffusers. Osmosis lab techs. Official support. Very clear one. And then lastly, Osmonaut ground control. I feel like that one came from a cosmonaut. I'm not sure, but thank you. Great name suggestions from Reddit. And now let's talk briefly about what didn't work. I have one question about this, and we actually were talking with Sonny about this. I think it was last night or recently. This is a question from Niles on Discord from the No Mic channel, who asked, I have a question for the AMA today. I'm aware that this might be a bit controversial, but I'd like to hear a comment on the involvement of the DAO in Prop 96. I don't care about the implications behind the prop itself too much, but there wasn't but wasn't there a conflict of interest? In the spirit of decentralization, it seems to be problematic to involve yourself in governance like that, not as individuals, but using the DAO itself, especially for the guys that have to support and guide the community. It might be extra important to maintain neutrality. Instead, they chose to influence governance using their standing in the community. That's the question. Thank you for asking this, Niles. I think we pretty much all can agree that in terms of the stuff that didn't work as well as we had maybe hoped, the governance, advocacy, and us taking an official stance speaking as a DAO, and also seeking the admins all to sign on to this like official letter, probably we'll never do that again. I think that's a fair boundary to draw. Individually, I believe that we should have the freedom to speak our opinions about proposals and not have it be an official DAO statement. And I would just say that on this particular one, maybe this is a problem that the support team doesn't have. It's not our job to solve it. But that, a proposal like 96 that would have gutted the community pool by like 7/8 of its potential value, like is scary. There was a lot of implications that made it very scary, not just for us personally, but from the devs and, as a project. Like, it would just be a completely different world if the potential risks of that there were many. So perhaps there's other ways to do that, advocating personally. And who knows, maybe we need like I have no idea, a governance DAO. I have no idea, or it's a governance working group or something for people looking out for the interests of the community. I do think there's a point where it's like we can all speak with our opinions as individuals, but there are some times when it does seem like the community or big groups, segments of the community might feel strongly, and it's fair to say that it's not in the support DAO's job description to do that. And we're fine. I think we're all fine with that. Also, what didn't work, clearly the DAO name, people have bristled against that. So we are coming up trying to work on a new name. Another one was the notion of us being appointed leaders, which was that's 2 props ago. That was from Prop 39, which failed. We didn't talk about that in Prop 57, which is our mandate and our founding proposal. But we fully acknowledge that nobody can decide for us to be leaders or anything. Like, we just want to do our jobs, and we feel like leadership is earned, and that's for the community to decide. So yeah, if that was anybody's thought that we believe that, or it's a misunderstanding, and we don't it's not our belief or our intent. A few more names from Reddit, and then we're going to jump into what we'd like to experiment with or change going forward, and also the Q&A section. So if anybody does want to get on the mic, please start reaching out to Mad Cat Attack on Discord, and what's it called? And our admins elsewhere. Some names for Reddit, for other great names for the name change of the Osmosis Support DAO. Reddit has these Osmosis Heroes. I don't know if we could take that one. It might seem a little too arrogant after I just said we don't want to be appointed leaders. Lab Logistics. Like that name. Osmosis Help Managers. It's pretty good, transparent, clear. The Mad Scientists. That one's fun. I got to say, that one's fun. Bunsen. Very specific. That reminds me of, I think, my chemistry class where we used Bunsen burners. And lastly, the Solution Distribution. Pretty good. Okay, so we're getting here to the end. What to change and experiment with? Well, we already said it once. We're not going to be speaking as the DAO in Commonwealth proposals trying to influence governance. That's out. Another thing, we do want to continue to expand admin staff while ensuring against burnout. And I think we want to go in the direction of something like contribution mining, where we want to incentivize people who are contributing value to the protocol. it's just important. What's this question? Does Osmo have a backup to Akash, or does Akash not have any central point of failure at all? That's a good question. I don't have any answer to that right now. Maybe we'll have to talk to Akash about that. Let's see what else. Where do we? Attending DecentralCon. The rest of the issues, mostly of what we want to change, are mostly internal. Like we're going to have to eventually pay ourselves. That's just, it's awkward and it sucks, but we're going to have to walk around shaking a tin cup and asking for change, or we have to come up with some way to pay ourselves. That would help us become more independent, more autonomous, and driven by the community and the support, the community pool, more decentralized, in that we don't have to turn to the devs and say, hey, please fund us. And also this consensus process and the debate and all the stuff that goes into every time we incentivize or pay somebody to contribute is exhausting. I mean, we try to do it as efficiently as possible, but like, it's a constant dialogue. And I want to continue. I think the dialogue is the way. So I will stop talking shortly, and we're going to bring on hopefully people who will ask questions. The goats and lab coats. I just saw that one. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I like mitochondria. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to end this. We were going to decide on a name, but I think we might have to end this with a question mark. Like we might have to huddle as a DAO, and because I'm not certain we really, there's some great ones here. Okay, lastly, things to change or experiment with. Obviously, attending DecentralCon in Miami was awesome to get together, but like Sunny has come up with some pretty cool other events. I think other members of the founders and of the dev team, we're going to try and brainstorm what are the best, absolute best events where we get the most bang for our buck. And those seem, that's something I would want to change and add. Designing and co-producing stuff like the Osmosis clawback party, things like this live stream. Like I would like to continue to be able to do this. This is not in our original budget. We didn't realize how much work all this crap would take. So like that would probably be factor into whatever we come back for to ask. And then what is this? Oh yeah. Making Twitter probably much more support focused. Currently we're retweeting and treating out whatever comes to mind. We're trying to keep it around support, but I think we could make it a little more really kind of driven towards support and push the other stuff to the marketing. And what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. Like that kind of speaks to like a bunch of stuff that we're doing that we weren't originally realizing how much time it would take to write these Medium articles and do all this stuff. It might make sense to contract that work from people in the community to get us to help us, and I'm open to that if you are. And I think we're going to try to start a discussion in Commonwealth to talk about that and about what a new budget could mean. If we can take things off our plates and compensate or incentivize the community to help us do them, I'm down for it if you guys are. And lastly, yeah, all of this entails re-upping the budget. We've added a bunch new admins, even in addition to what you guys see in the November report, which I think accounts for like 10. There's at least 4 more. And so those numbers will be coming out. December's transparency report will be coming out, I think, by Monday at the latest. Now we're at the Q&A part. This is all taking a bit longer than I thought, but we're getting close to the end. A few more Reddit fielded names: Osmotologist, Osmosis Technical Assistants, The Nucleus, Osmobots, and the Lab Proctors. I feel like the Lab Proctors is a subtle dig, but it is a good one. I just feel like, yeah, we're definitely will be wearing white. We have to wear like lab coats during every call. Okay, now Q&A time. Do we have people from the community who would like to get on the mic? I'm looking now at my our chat for other questions. Let's just see here. No one's lining up to hop on the mic right now. That was half an hour ago. Jamie on Facebook. So I'm going to start doing some text ones until we get somebody to join. I know nobody wants. if you do come on the mic, folks, you can turn your video off. So if you don't want to show your face like me, I totally understand it. This is from Jamie on Facebook asks, hi, how do I get Osmosis? How do I get involved? Well, Osmosis, you go to osmosis.zone, that will take you to the decks. And also I think there's links to the Medium and all the various official public platforms. You can get Osmo on Osmosis. I don't know, Sonny, how do I get involved?
Yeah, I mean, that's about right. I mean, it depends. There's many different ways of getting involved, right? I mean, there's getting involved as a user. You can get involved at, if you want to get, start running validators, or just like, if you're a developer, if you want to start integrating it into things, or, we're also, we're hiring if you do any sort of, development, whether it's front end or, Go development, Rust development. So yeah, lots of different ways of getting involved.
Awesome. So, and if people, we're kind of working on trying to find out good ways to kind of accept those incoming, requests or offers for people. Is there, for now, Sonny, what do you think? What is the best path? Is it to go on to like Discord or to message an admin, or what's the best path to? You said, if the foundation is hiring, say, people for DevOps or for something.
I think we have, if you go on angel.co, we have a hire search for Osmosis. We have like a list of job offerings that we're looking for. So you can check that.
Okay. So on angel.co, if anybody has the link to that, who's watching this, please drop it into the comments. Or if you have it, Sonny, you can post it in the comment on the lower right. And I can say that from the perspective of the support DAO, we're working on, we have an email, which is osmosis support at what's it called, osmosisdao.team. And we are working on a formal process. I don't know what just happened. We just lost Sonny. Hopefully he'll come back. We have a I feel very naked. Okay, Sonny's back. Hey, welcome back. Wow, I felt very, very alone there for a second. We're working on what would kind of be like a job, like a bulletin board where we can post whether it's jobs or bounties or tasks, things that we're looking to, compensate people for from the DAO. And I think marketing is what we'll be working with them. So hopefully we can come up with something that's more ideally that for the community would see things first. If you're in the Telegram, you're in the Discord, that if you're involved, that you'll see things come up. That's the dream. So we're working on that for sure going forward to get some kind of a place. There's so many other things. I just also want to say, if you look at our support roadmap, there's we have a really important thing that Claire was talking about, this live chat widget where you can talk to support admins, in a safe, scammer-free widget. We will have a support page with the FAQs and also ideally we will have how-to videos, all the basics of the most often asked questions of how to get your wallet, funds from Kepler onto the IBC, onto the DEX. We're working on all of that. That's all, and having a support, actual website will also help, I think, the community have a destination for these types of things. Okay, other questions? Ooh, let me just make sure I got that back. I have IO Signal on YouTube asks, does Osmo have a backup to Akash, or does Akash not have any central point of failure?
That's for me. Yeah. So I mean, we have hosting on multiple things. There's the website's actually also deployed to IPFS regularly. So there's coming from there, and then we rely on a bunch of nodes for our infrastructure. So some of them are hosted on Akash, some of them are hosted via Figment's data hub, some of them we self-host ourselves. So yeah, we rely on a number of different things.
Okay, great. I have one from apparently King Crypto wants to hop on the mic and ask some questions. So King, I believe that Mad Cat is helping get you the link so you can join. Anyone who does want to join, DM Mad Cat Attack on Discord. Our admins will never DM you first, so please do that, and you'll get the link. I'll be eyes are peeled to see what's it called, to see King Crypto here. And I have another question. I'm going to try to put this one into our a banner so people can see it. I don't know if it's going to work, but scroll across the bottom ticker, add banner. Does this work? Show. Lucas Salas on YouTube has a question. I got $500 to put on the Osmo Atom pool. It will give me how much income in a month? I honestly, Lucas, I don't know the answer to that question off the top of my head. I don't think, Sonny, I think that this is what our admins are for. They can give you, some at least point you in the right place to get the right information. And I guess this just answers the question of why do we want to have live humans in our social channels? Go to Telegram, go to Discord, go to Reddit, go to our channels and ask there. Does that sound like a fair answer, Sonny? Okay. I see King is here. King Crypto, we just need you to connect your mic at least. Once that's done, I can add you onto bring you on stage. So just King is out. Hopefully King will come back. Please come back, King. And also, if you are going to come back, we're just recommending that you disconnect or close whatever. Like if you're watching on Discord or anything, you're going to have to close that just in case, because there's been a okay, it says device not connected, King. So please keep trying. Try to connect your mic and keep trying. Make sure that at least your mic is connected. Also try to whoever, Mad Cat, if you can tell King Crypto to turn off YouTube or whatever other stream that they're watching or listening to this on in order to participate. In the meantime, while King is working on that, I'm looking for other questions here. Okay, here's one answer to a question before that I think is helpful. Robo Magobo, who I need to shout out. Robo Magobo is one of our DAO members who is also an admin. He's the only one who's an admin and a DAO member. And I just want to say that Robo, I think Robo's working like 4 jobs now. It's kind of insane that Robo's been able to straddle these different responsibilities, but it's been invaluable to have an actual admin in the DAO be able to tell us exactly what admin problems are on a day-to-day basis. And it's hard. And sometimes I think Robo feels like I can't be there as much as you because I'm also a freaking admin, which is, takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. Okay, I see King is here. Oh, King is connected. And so Robo's point was that from an admin perspective, if you want to get involved, get on our social channels, join the conversation, learn about the project, engage with fellow Osmonauts, it will be noticed. That's how we all got here. So King, I've added you to the stream. Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks for coming. What's your question?
Okay, I'm King from Scholar Crypto. I have few questions. My first question is related to Relayer. We have been having relay issues right before Osmosis touched 1 billion TVL. My first question is, with Gravity incoming, what Osmo plans to do to scale up the Relayer connectivity issues that we frequently having? The second question is, Kepler Mobile is very bad. So is there any plan to improve Kepler Mobile? My last question is, I have issues, I have concern with superfluid staking. Is the outline ready yet for us to discuss about it? Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, King. Do you want to stay on stage while we answer these?
Sure, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sonny, go for it.
Well, I actually have to jump off because I have another call. Answer these really quickly. Which is so sorry. What were the 3? I remember one of them was Kepler Mobile. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of work to be done on like improving Kepler Mobile. It's still very much in beta phase right now. and the Kepler team is sort of working on, a lot of different things right now. And both actually Kepler and the Osmosis front end are going to go through like a major refactor that will like just sort of improve a lot of the technical debt that we've accumulated. The Osmosis front end was written in like the course of a month, and Kepler, it's over the sort of year and a half that it's been live, it's also accumulated quite a bit of technical debt. So we're going to be sort of going in and rewriting a lot of those, and that will help us, be able to onboard more developers. So because right now, so Tony, who is like one of the co-founders of Osmosis, he basically almost single-handedly maintains Kepler as well as the Osmosis front end, so we're working on like bringing, we just hired a couple more front end developers as well to help on that. But I think to onboard more developers, we need to go through these like refactors that can help clean it up a bit. What were the other two questions? Superfluid staking, I think for that, go check out my talk from Cosmoverse. You can, it's on YouTube. I think that would probably be the best explanation. And what was the first one?
It was with Gravity incoming. Are there relayer plans?
Oh, yeah. So the Gravity Bridge, how it's designed is the validators of the Gravity Bridge chain are the relayers between Ethereum and the Gravity Bridge chain. And then for the relaying between the Gravity Bridge chain and Osmosis, that'll be pretty similar to, the relayers that we already, how IBC relayers already work today. And so, there'll be relayers that will step up to do that. Cool.
Awesome.
Got it, Ryan.
Thanks, Sonny. Okay. Thank you so much, Sonny. Thanks for joining us on this. And thanks, King, for asking that question. That was the only other question we had. And I understand that, getting on the mic is not everybody's first idea of a wonderful afternoon, but thank you for stepping up, King. Really appreciate you doing that. And we're going to do more of these. I think that's the plan, unless you folks say that you hate this. And just to wrap this up, I just want to thank all of the admins that have been busting their butts and helping provide support to Osmonauts. I want to thank the community for giving us the mandate and the budget to just experiment and see if this could even be done. I feel like the feedback that we've gotten from the devs, from the founders, is that it's working, and also from ourselves, we feel like we want to keep doing this if everybody in the community agrees. And so thank you for giving us the opportunity and the chance. And if you all have initiatives that you would like to see that are not on our current roadmap, please tell us. Please, you can hit us up on Twitter. You can hit us up in the all of the social channels. Please talk to us. If you have thoughts on, we had this idea of doing a 3D support lab, possibly in partnership with Passage, who's doing the Strange Clans 3D NFT game. Is that something y'all think would be cool or not? We want to hear from you, and we're planning to do a Commonwealth discussion about these topics to help us inform what our next budget request should be. And lastly, if you have any stories or anecdotes about how support staff have helped you along the way, I would like to hear it. Like, we do want to hear feedback from what has worked. There was something that I was going to try to load up here, but I couldn't get it. But there's been some very kind words that we'll share on social from people really appreciating the admin staff, and we like to hear that too. I think it helps to get that feedback. Lastly, we have a few more names from Reddit. Thanks again, Reddit, for coming up with these awesome names. I think we'll announce the official Osmosis support DAO name change offline, because I'm going to have to talk to the members to see if we might have to use one of these that if I make sure we agree on it. Last four names: Osmonaut Base Consultant, Osmodeck, Laboratory Assistants, and the final name suggestion from Reddit: Insane Membrane Crew. Thank you for these names. Really appreciate it. if you guys want to sound off on which of those names you liked the most or what have you, please do on Twitter. Maybe we'll try and list them and do a poll. Thanks everybody for your support. We'll see you out there on Osmosis, in the chat, in the Matrix. Till next community update, town hall. Peace.
Every time